find more
President Tinubu
for infrastructure, which is the backbone of any industrialization and economic development and job creation of any nation.
President Tinubu reiterates strategic role of infrastructural projects by his administration, describes transportation projects as enablers of national progress. Federal government affirms resolve to rebuild flood-ravaged Moka even as more groups support impacted families.
Together, let's end the scourge of plastic pollution and build a better future for us all.
2025 World Environmental Day highlights danger posed by relentless plastic tide to Nigeria's natural wealth. A warm welcome to NTA Network News. I am Jumai Yusuf. Joining me tonight are Benny Adams on Business News and Francisca Belle, who is our guide for news in the world of sports. Remember, you can watch this newscast on any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. Now, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed the commitment of his administration towards delivering enduring infrastructures across Nigeria. President Tinubu renewed his commitment at the inauguration of the Lekki Deep Sea Port Access Road and other projects across the country. State House correspondent Musbaud Wahab reports that the president also inspected the Dangote refinery and petrochemicals complex.
President Bola Tinubu was certainly aware of how Dangote refinery has come to be a game changer in Nigeria's petroleum sector. But then, his knowledge of the site and facilities might not have been so adequate. The number one is here to see for himself the Africa's largest oil refinery. The refinery, covering more than 2,600 hectares of land, is a community of facilities. Bola Tinubu's idea of the Lekki Free Trade Zone as the then Lagos State Governor is now a reality, perhaps beyond his imagination. In the control room, the president was honored to dedicate the fully operational refinery to the nation. And then to the inauguration of the Lekki Deep Sea Port Access Road, a strategic port to boost the marine and blue economy of the country.
This road is very important that we serve the port, deep sea port, so that all the challenges we have with Apapa port will be a thing of the past using this place.
My own is to affirm our commitment as an administration to deliver enduring infrastructure across our great nation. We truly retune and re-engineer our finances to find more money for infrastructure, which is the backbone of any industrialization and economic development and job creation of any nation. We will do it.
The president also inaugurated 6 other roads and bridges across the country, including Yekasai-Zeli Road, Kano State, Shandam Bridge, Plateau State, and Kwanar-Hadeja Section 2 across Kano-Jigawa State. He equally flagged off 13 new road projects. Those include construction of 120 kilometers Section 1, Phase 1B of Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway in Sokoto State, and completion of rehabilitation of Lokoja-Bini Road on rigid pavement. The president appealed to state governors for cooperation to actualize all the legacy road projects.
I have directed the Honorable Minister of Works to work with the Surveyor General of the Federation and all the state governors. This legacy project, route bypass, through to procure reasonable setback for land future expansion, building of infrastructure to enhance road architecture and return on investment. Please, our dear governors, let's work together. Don't give planning approvals without collaborating with the Surveyor General of the Federation and Ministry of Works on these roads.
Infrastructure remains the glue that binds. A well-paved road is also a well-paved path to national cohesion.
At PUA, we remain committed to walking this path with you. Development is a shared responsibility.
With continued collaboration and shared resolve, we are confident that the journey ahead will usher even greater opportunities for our people and our country under your courageous, I say courageous and visionary leadership.
Even in the face of scarce resources, the administration promises to continue to prioritize building lasting infrastructures for the country. From Lekki, Musbah, then Wahab, NTA News.
And now to our survey for tonight. The recurring floods across Nigeria is front and center tonight as these incidents continue to claim lives and devastate communities, especially in high-risk regions. With the rainy season upon us, the question isn't if the floods will strike, but how many lives we can save this time. What is the one critical priority that could reduce these preventable tragedies? We want you to join our ongoing online conversation on the issue as it is about protecting Nigerian lives and livelihoods. Scan the QR code displayed on your screen, click and join the conversation on our social media platforms and make your voice heard. As usual, we'll be sharing the result of the poll before the end of tonight's broadcast. The National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, NHPADEC, has provided relief materials to victims of Moka flood disaster. Acting Managing Director of the Commission, Jimoh Haruna, who led a delegation to commiserate with the victims, also promised continued support. Fatima Aliu reports.
The visit by the management of NHPADEC to Mokwa was majorly to address the urgent critical humanitarian needs of the survivors of the May 28 flood disaster, which claimed lives and property. NHPADEC, led by its acting managing director, Jimoh Haruna, supported the victims with relief materials ranging from beddings, treated mosquito nets, life jackets, food items to toiletries. This is in addition to the donation of 5 million naira to cushion the effects of the natural disaster.
We are at the verge of rolling out medical outreaches to communities of HYPADEC to see how we can actually intervene in form of provision of basic medical needs.
The visit was also an opportunity to sensitize the people on the impending flood predictions by the NIMET and the need to take necessary precautionary measures. Fatima Aliu, NTA News.
Though recovery and relief efforts are being stepped up in Moka town, critical questions still persist. For instance, is there accountability in the emergency response? We now go live to the Acting Director General of Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Ibrahim Audu Hussaini. He's joining us via Zoom. Thanks for joining us on Network News tonight.
Thank you and good evening, and I'm happy to be with you.
Good evening. And our prayers are with you in Niger State. But I must ask, what is the state of play in terms of recovery and relief efforts there in Moka town as at tonight?
To be candid with you, the recovery process is going to be a gradual thing because of the number of people involved in the unfortunate incident. Every other person has been mobilized. The governor is on his toes. Is ensuring that our international partners, corporate organizations, philanthropists, and individuals are mobilized to come to the heads of the state because this is very large and very massive. And as you are all aware, the government has made huge donation for the recovery process. That is the resettlement of these people. And in terms of social support and relief, many people have been bringing relief. The state government, NEMA, the federal government, including individuals. As you are talking, the Red Cross was also there, mainstream, some corporate organizations, and then the state government has opened an account for this particular disaster, where donations have been made, and after that time, the money will be judicially used. And most importantly, the attention now is on the continual taking care of these people in the camp, and also providing social support to them, because people are neglecting that aspect. But the governor said these people are traumatized because of the fact that most of them lost their loved ones, and as such, Minister of Women Affairs, their social district department was in collaboration with Minister of Health, was asked to deal with that issue, because people are distressed, and then sometimes it is not even the food that they need, but what they need is support and assurance that the life must continue. So as I speak to you today, the committee, EOC, Committee of the State Admin, and we also have local organizing committee too. All these things are geared towards ensuring that all us are on deck to make sure that these people are back to their feet.
All hands must be on deck, and you know, when situations like this arise, there are a lot of promises, and I think MOCA needs more specifics and not promises this time around. So I would ask you this: who is tracking all of these commitments, pledges, donations and deliveries being made to ensure that displaced families have food, clean water and medical care?
The state government is tracking it, and I want to tell you that every donation that is done on minute basis is being updated. There's a record, and there are names of people that are donating, including those that are bringing foodstuff. As soon as you bring, we advise that we have people there, and they take inventories and take record and take even your letter and acknowledge it and send it forward. Those are paying money into the account, because the state government has dedicated a particular account for that intervention. And he has asked that any other person should not take money, because there must be accountability. And you know, the governor is somebody who is very strict. If you give work out, he doesn't go and stay at home. He's also there to ensure that the work is done. And why I want to say these people will never lack anything is because of the fact that the state government policy is using agriculture to pivot the upgrade and also the next level of the state, with the aim of trying to feed up a major state in Nigeria and also Africa. That is why the governor is called the farmer governor. So these people are his constituents because they are predominantly farmer. And he said, these are my people and they are my number one constituency, and as such, they will never be messed up with. Any money that is there is being tracked, and anybody that attempts to play a hacky-packy game or to try to divert that fund will be met with stiff penalty and also great sanctions over there. And in fact, there will not even be any opportunity for that situation.
Okay, Director of Information and Special Duties and Acting Director General, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Ibrahim Audu Hussaini, our hearts are with you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, and good night.
To security matters, in a significant drive to rid Nigeria of small arms and light weapons, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has destroyed more than 3,000 illegal small arms and light weapons recovered from mop-up operations across the country. The exercise complements other ongoing internal security operations.
More than 40 million small arms in Africa are being held by non-state actors and private individuals, indicates the 2024 Global Counterterrorism Forum report. In West Africa alone, there are more than 11 million arms in the custody of civilians. Proliferation of small and light arms greatly contributes to security challenges in the Sahel, including Nigeria. This arms destruction exercise by the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons is part of Nigeria's efforts to ensure the eradication of illegal arms.
We recognize the complexity of the challenges of controlling the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria, and the requirement for concerted action amongst the government, international community, and all well-meaning civil society organizations. We are resolved to galvanize our strength and unity as a nation to confront these monstrous challenges.
This exercise underscores the Nigerian government's commitment to transparent documentation and destruction of decommissioned, unserviceable, captured, surrendered, and recovered illicit firearms.
The exercise demonstrates Nigeria's commitment to ensuring the provisions of Article 24 of the ECOWAS Convention on Small and Light Weapons, which requires member states to establish national commissions to promote a multilateral approach to stamping out illegal weapons in the sub-region.
I will take a break now. More will come your way. Don't go away. Thanks for joining us. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has organized a national prayer session at the plain of Arafat for divine intervention to the socio-economic challenges bedeviling the nation. The prayer session was presided over by some renowned Islamic scholars serving on the NACON Ulama team. The scholars offered the supplications in Arabic, English, Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, and Kanuri, where they particularly prayed for the restoration of peace across the country as well as the stabilization of the economy. They prayed for Allah's guidance on President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and other political leaders at all levels. Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Professor Abdullahi Usman, said the prayer session is strategic considering the virtues of the Arafat Day, which is a period when supplications are accepted by the Almighty Allah. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Nigerian pilgrims and the global Muslim Ummah on the celebration of this year's Eid al-Kabir. President Tinubu emphasizes that Eid al-Kabir represents the high point of the sacred first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, a period filled with opportunities for acts of worship and good deeds. He says while the festival is marked with joy and celebration, its true significance lies much deeper, as he notes that Eid calls for reflection on its core values of sacrifice, devotion, and selflessness. The president urged Muslims to embody virtues of the festival, just as Prophet Ibrahim exemplified with complete submission to the will of Allah. President Tinubu called on Muslims to use the sacred occasion and renew their commitment to the ideals of Eid al-Kabir. President Tinubu should remind Nigerians of responsibilities beyond faith to show resilience, tolerance, compassion, and dedication to the progress of the country. The president reaffirms his commitment to values of the Eid and expresses appreciation for the faith, patience, and perseverance of Nigerians as his administration implements bold reforms. After spending time out Mount Arafat, Islamic pilgrims now in Muzdalifah after sunset would have performed Maghrib and Isha prayers consecutively, shortening Isha to 2 raka'at. They are to spend the night in worship or rest before returning to Mina to throw pebbles and observe Eid al-Adha on Friday, with other rituals continuing thereafter. Now let's join our correspondent Tope Alabi, who is covering this year's Hajj in Saudi Arabia, for an update on the holy pilgrimage. Tope, good to see you again.
Yeah, many thanks, Joy, for joining me again this evening. It's been a very busy day at Hajj. It's been a very busy day at Hajj. The Hujjaj are at Muzdalifah as we speak, and everyone is resting after our Salatul Maghrib and Isha prayer combined. And then we're hopeful to be in Mina tomorrow and then start the other engagements. One thing that is very sure is that everyone is fulfilled, having performed the Arafah, because without Arafah, you wouldn't have been reckoned to have performed Hajj. So it's a very busy day for every Hujjaj here in Saudi Arabia. Many are just still trooping in from Arafah and trying to find a place to pray and rest. The one thing that is very, very clear is the fact that Islam wants mankind to know that irrespective of their color, their race, their language, everybody is one. It's not about your color, it's not about your language, it's about how pious you are, how impactful you are to mankind. And that exactly is the message of Islam. Besides the fact that the sermon today by Sheikh Ibn Humayd was centered on the fact that everybody should uphold the sanctity of the family. Whatever is it that the world is facing today begins from the family. So it's a call, a clarion call, that everyone should make sure that families are held very tightly and more attention is given to the family.
Ethiopia Alabi, he's our correspondent for this year's Hajj. Thank you so much. Enjoy the ambience of Muzdalifa. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now let's bring you up to speed with other news. A multi-million-dollar health facility to address the burden of non-communicable diseases and curb medical tourism in West Africa, the African Medical Center of Excellence, Abuja, has been launched. Elizabeth Omori reports that Vice President Kashim Shettima inaugurated the strategic healthcare institution on behalf of President Bola Tinubu.
History has been made in Africa's healthcare sector with the establishment of the African Medical Center of Excellence in Abuja. This groundbreaking initiative is spearheaded by the African Export-Import Bank in clinical partnership with King's College Hospital, London, with the full support of the federal government of Nigeria. In a goodwill message, President Bola Tinubu emphasized the significance of the planned medical and nursing school, describing it as a foundation to nurture Africa's next generation of medical specialists.
Who will no longer be exported, but empowered at home, from Japa to Japada. I assure you that the present administration will continue to support this initiative, not as a charity, but as a strategy.
With Nigeria now home to the largest stem cell laboratory in West Africa and other advanced medical technologies, African Export and Import Bank, AMCE Abuja, and partners are set to deliver world-class diagnostic and treatment services, particularly in oncology, hematology, and cardiology.
The cyclotron plant will also support the AMCE's ambition to participate in cutting-edge research, including developing new diagnostic agents and personalized treatment approaches, fostering innovation in medical science within Nigeria and the region.
May we not only admire the shiny machines and elegant spaces, but contemplate the lives that will be changed, the pain that will be eased, and the hope that will be restored.
It will significantly elevate the quality of care available to patients.
It will be connected to all healthcare facilities on the continent.
During the inauguration, the African Life Sciences Foundation and Endowment Fund was introduced to support research and the development of drugs and medical interventions tailored to people of African descent. Key agreements signed include a $75 million financing term sheet between Afrexim Bank and the Bank of Industry to support local manufacturers under the presidential initiative to unlock the healthcare value chain, among other agreements. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
The Presidential Initiative on Unlocking Healthcare Value Chain, PVAC, Afrexim Bank and the Bank of Industry have signed a $75 million Memorandum of Understanding to support local manufacturers in Nigeria's healthcare sector. The agreement was signed in Abuja after the commissioning of the African Medical Center of Excellence, with the funding to finance local healthcare businesses and foster sustainable growth in the sector. Dr. Mukhtar explains that empowering the healthcare industry by unlocking the value chain through the funds will enable local businesses to produce pharmaceuticals at a competitive level while meeting Nigeria's demand for quality and affordable services.
Last 1 year, we have been trying to mobilize resources for local manufacturers of medicines, of vaccines, of medical devices, and other healthcare commodities in Nigeria. And this is just the beginning. With Afreximbank, we have a $1 billion facility to invest in healthcare manufacturing in Nigeria, and we're talking to other development finance institutions. So this $75 million is a token, it's a beginning. We have already identified the projects, and this money will go directly into supporting local manufacturers identified by PBAC in Nigeria.
The deal is part of a larger syndicated facility of up to €2 billion, expecting to support trade and trade-related projects of Nigerian companies. The body of late Professor Jibril Aminu has been buried in his hometown, Song local government area of Adamawa State, according to Islamic injunctions. Correspondent Rayanu Bala reports on the life and times of a professor of cardiology and one-time Nigerian ambassador to the United States.
Amin was born on 25th August 1939 in Song, local government area of Adamawa State. He obtained his MBBS from the University of Ibadan in 1965 and PhD in medicine from the Royal Postgraduate Medical School, London in 1972. He was a Vice-Chancellor, University of Maiduguri between 1980 to 1985, Federal Minister of Education and Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources between 1989 to 1992 respectively, before joining politics to become a two-term senator representing Adamawa Central in 2003 and re-elected in 2007. He was instrumental in the establishment of the nomadic education, among other impactful contributions to the national growth and development.
The greater the organization, the greater the corruption. That's why the energy, whether you're talking about oil or whatever, is the seat of corruption. The sad thing is nobody is doing anything about it.
The funeral prayer of late Professor Jibril Amin was observed at the National Mosque, Abuja, and his corpse conveyed to Yola for burial at his hometown, Song local government area of Adamawa State.
He has been an exemplary human being to us, and I would like to say that I'll try my best to follow his way.
It's a great loss, not only to us, but to the entire nation.
He left behind a wife, 9 children, and many relations. In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has extended his condolences to the family and friends of Professor Jibril Muhammad Aminu, a respected academic, professor of cardiology, and former senator and political leader who passed on at the age of 85. In a statement, the president said Professor Aminu epitomized statesmanship and was committed to building a greater Nigeria. He prays that the late statesman find eternal rest in Al-Jannah Firdaus. We'll take another break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Nigerians must rise to the challenge of protecting the environment by changing how they consume packaged food and dispose plastic containers and bags. Nigeria First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this in a message marking this year's World Environment Day, as she joins millions around the world to call for urgent and united action towards safeguarding the environment. She describes the theme for the celebration, ending plastic pollution, as apt, noting that unsafe disposal of plastic waste has become one of the most pressing environmental challenges of the time, affecting health, environment, and future. Addressing the youths in particular, the First Lady says they are the leaders of tomorrow, and as such, they have a role to play in creating a cleaner, healthier, and greener Nigeria, be it in schools or within their neighborhoods. Meanwhile, Nigeria, a rich country rich in biodiversity, clearly faces a significant ecological challenge: plastics. This is because an estimated 2.5 million tons are said to be generated annually in Nigeria. But on a day when the world unites against the pervasive issue of waste management, a global crisis with profound local implications, spotlight is on ending plastic pollution. Let's take a listen to Charles Alpha's report.
an estimated 2.5 million tons of plastic generated. Yet, the reality is less than 12% is recycled, leading to widespread environmental degradation and alarming public health concerns. The reason why this World Environment Day 2025, a global initiative aimed at raising awareness and promoting action for the protection of the environment, is prompting urgent solutions.
We must go further, faster. Together, let's end the scourge of plastic pollution and build a better future for us all.
In 2018 alone, Nigeria reports revealed discharged approximately 200,000 tons of plastic waste into the ocean, rating it among the top 20 global contributors to marine debris. This alarming trend is largely fueled by the dominance of single-use plastics, particularly for food, water, and sanitary purposes.
Today is one of the days we're calling on different people to rethink how we use, reduce, and recycle plastic, and most importantly, think about alternative solutions.
Nigeria is not idly standing by, as it joins the world on this day for a collective global effort to end plastic pollution. The cornerstone of its response is the National Policy on Plastic Waste Management of 2021. This comprehensive policy aims to reduce plastic waste and pollution, promote sustainable practices, limit single-use plastics, encourage recycling and reuse, and champion a circular economy where plastics are designed for the 5 R's: reduce, reuse, repair, recycle, and recovery. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
And talking about making money, let's join Benny Adams on Business News.
Thank you, Jumai.
Hello, Benny.
Now, the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority, NEBZA, believes that the passing into law of the Special Economic Zones Commission, presently at the National Assembly, will consolidate on the nation's economic diversification move. Managing Director of NEBZA, Dr. Olufemi Ogunyemi, believes this will attract more foreign direct investment, job creation, infrastructure development, and technology transfer. This is in addition to supporting the ongoing Alaro Digital and Smart Economic Zone and the Medical Tourism Park initiative across the country. Dr. Ogunyemi says while the zones enjoy tax waivers and other incentives, they are also expected to meet their obligations to the Federation account or risk losing their licenses.
Publish the names. We will submit it through the ministry to the presidency, and we will take away their licenses.
Nigeria has more than 700 enterprises spread across 60 free trade zones with a variety of focus to include export of goods and services across the continent. Now, looking at the Nigerian stock market at the close of trading on Thursday, the market closed on a bullish note ahead of the Eid al-Kabir holiday, sustaining its positive streak for 4 consecutive sessions. A total of 1.284 billion shares in 16,407 deals, corresponding to a market value of 33.4 billion, were traded today, and investors actually gained 1.16 trillion naira. Today's data shows 114% improvement in volume, 104% improvement in turnover, and 20% improvement in deals. The market capitalization is 72.3 trillion naira, and on the aggregate, 127 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 40 gainers and 22 losers. And looking at the numbers, the top losers are NNM, 13.84%, the ABC Transport 0.2%, and Livestock at 0.70%. And the top gainers are Fidelity Bank, Legend Internet, as well as Zenith Bank. Jumai, this is it and business. Hope you are investing in Nigerian stocks already.
Thank you, Benny. Nigeria's automotive sector is set to witness a comprehensive development and sustainable growth as stakeholders in the industry strategize to ensure the efficacy of the Nigeria First policy within the sector. Director General National Automotive Design and Development Council, Oluwemimo Oshanipin, says the economy will receive a boost with the patronage of made-in-Nigerian vehicles. Umo Basi Edit tells us more.
The event holding in Uyo is a stakeholders engagement with the Association of Motor Dealers of Nigeria, AMDAN, on used cars import and dealership regulation in Nigeria. Some of the issues on the front burner include the need for increased patronage of made-in-Nigeria vehicles and components, need to encourage investors to take opportunities, as well as creating regulatory frameworks.
Patronizing only Nigerian-made goods, most especially automotive. We know automotive is one of the area that government spend a lot of money, so it is going to have direct impact on what we are doing now.
Critical stakeholders and drum home support for a robust regulatory framework if the automotive sector must succeed.
It is a great, policy that has to be properly implemented to ensure that the goals of the policies are achieved.
Apart from the revenue laws and apart from making things to work easier both for the industry and for government, it still gives room for a large percentage of security to be curtailed.
The stakeholders' engagement is the brainchild of the National Automotive Design and Development Council, aimed at bridging the gap among stakeholders. In Uyo, Umar Basadet, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. When we return, there's so much more. Don't go away. Welcome back. The wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, through the office of the wife of the Adamawa State Governor, Lami Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, has shared educational materials as well as food and non-food items to 2,000 students with special needs at the Special Education Center, Jada, in Adamawa State. Simon Asha reports that the initiative is part of the Nigeria Governor's Spouses Forum quarterly food bank program to support the education of persons with special needs.
The Renew Hope initiative of the wife of the president is said to be a game changer in transforming lives across Nigeria through empowerment and investing in welfare and educational development of the people, with emphasis on people with special needs. One of the initiatives is the flagship programs on quarterly food bank initiative implemented by the Nigerian Governor's Spouses Forum, which has been instrumental in changing the narrative of the less privileged in the country. The sharing of educational materials among other food and non-food items to 2,000 students at the Special Education Center in the local government area of Adamawa State by the wife of the Adamawa State Governor, Lami Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, through her pet project, Fresh Air Pro-Life Empowerment Foundation, is to make their life meaningful.
I want to thank the wife of the president, for without her, we cannot succeed.
So we believe that these materials will help our students and encourage them to study well.
The intervention showcases the commitment of the wife of the governor in alleviating hardship and promoting educational empowerment of students with special needs.
This support brings ease to your studies and light to your heart. Amen. Let us continue to build a state and a nation where no one is left behind, where giving becomes a culture and kindness becomes a law.
In Yola, Simon Asha, NTA News.
Now for happenings in the world of sports, Francisca is standing by. Francisca?
Thank you, Jumai. Welcome to Sports Update. Super Eagles captain Williams Troost-Ekong has highlighted the unifying influence of football and discussed Nigeria's preparations for their upcoming international friendly match against Russia, which will take place at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow on Friday. During a press conference organized by the Russian Football Union, the seasoned centre-back shared his thoughts on his previous experiences in the host nation.
We want to make the difference about that tomorrow. So we're very much looking forward to the game. And we prepare as much as we can in our own way, because also we are here to understand our playing style under the new coach. We have a lot of new faces in the team, and we have to continue to build for our own project, which is the AFCON at the end of the year, and to qualify for the World.
To athletics, Samuel Onikekun has been re-elected as the military and paramilitary representative to the board of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Onikekun, who has been serving as the technical director of the federation, was elected by the voting representatives of the military and paramilitary boards at Thursday's election at the media center of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Onikekun will officially be part of the new board of the AFN when federation elections are concluded next week.
I want to say I appreciate this confidence and this backing, and I pledge that I will continue to make sure that I represent the agencies with dignity and integrity. Thank you very much.
To tennis, world #1 Arina Sabalenka overcame four-time champion Iga Swiatek to secure her place in her first French Open final, winning 7-6, 4-6, 6-love and ending Swiatek's reign in Paris, along with her 26-match winning streak at the tournament. The Belarusian will compete against 2022 finalist Coco Gauff in Saturday's final after Gauff defeated French hopeful Lois Boysen in straight sets. But as the size of our package, it's back to Jumai.
Thank you so much, Francisca. And let's go to our polls tonight. The results are in. Nigerians have spoken on how and what they think should be done to stop flood death. 72.9% demand massive drains and strict floodplain bans. 16.7% back moving high-risk towns to safer terrains, and 10.4% prioritize life-saving alerts and community rescue. The verdict here implies that most Nigerians favor prevention first and foremost. You could go to our social media platforms for a breakdown of the results. And just before we go tonight, let's bring you our feel-good advocacy piece titled Pard the Period. The piece simply affirms that for every Nigerian girl, a pad is her right and not a request.
Probably heard people say, it's just a period. What's the big deal? One answer to that. Period is a human right. Periods are natural, not shameful. And access to sanitary products is a right and not luxury.
You should look out for the girl child on the street. You want the girl child to be in school and stay in school during her period. How about the girls outside the school that cannot afford these sanitary pads and can't even afford to go to school, understanding the economical system? Yeah, so let's look out for each other.
Ending period poverty is everyone's business. It starts with awareness and ends with action. Let's keep breaking the stigma, one pad, one conversation, and one walk at a time.
Let's all join the movement to provide pads to girls out there. Thanks for watching. I am Jumbo Yusuf.